This is All India Radio Shillong. The Northeast News Bulletin read by Sandeepan Chakravarti. The Assam State Disaster Management Authority's flood bulletin said 5 deaths were reported in Morigaon district, 3 in Barpeta, 2 in South Salmara and 1 each in Nalbari and Dhubri districts. 24 of the 33 districts in the state and 3,024 villages have been affected by the floods, the flood report said. Floodwater has shown receding trends in Buxa, Hojai and Majuli districts. The deluge has submerged nearly 1.51 lakh hectares of cropland and a large part of Kaziranga National Park. Over 12 lakh animals across 17 districts have been affected by the floods, with 129 animal deaths reported from Kaziranga National Park, including 10 rhinoceros. The flood bulletin said over 1.32 lakh displaced people have moved to 689 relief camps and 240 relief distribution centers set up by the district administrations. In Manipur, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban is being implemented effectively, and the scheme has realized the dreams of hundreds of urban poor to build a pakka house. The Manipur government has targeted to obtain approval for 46,360 beneficiaries for construction of houses in 27 towns of the state. Out of the total target, 26,348 beneficiaries for 24 towns have already been approved by the Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. It is targeted to complete the construction of 9,725 houses by the end of the current year. One beneficiary of the housing scheme, Ningthojam Suni Devi, told AIR that under the welfare scheme for the poor, one pakka house has been built. She said that the family has benefited not only the housing loan but credit-linked subsidy also to enable them to build a pakka house. The beneficiary also thanked the government for this welfare scheme. The next edition of India and China military drill that resumed last year following a freeze over the Doklam standoff will be held later this year in Meghalaya. An official said that the joint military exercise hand-in-hand will be held at Umroi in Ribhoi. The last exercise, which was the 7th edition, was held at Chengdu in December last year. At Umroi, the two forces will focus on counter-terror operations, establishment of joint command post and joint combat drill. A detailed planning meeting will be held next month. In Tripura, tight security arrangements have been made for the conduct of panchayat elections, and more than 1,000 polling booths have been identified as sensitive. Elections to the 3-tier panchayat posts in Tripura would be held on the 27th of this month. Ballot papers would be used in the rural polls. Deputy Inspector General of Police Arindam Nath said Tripura State Rifles personnel and 17 companies of BSF and CRPF would be deployed in all 1,848 polling booths, of which 1,172 have been identified as sensitive. Darthawma, the lone surviving Mizo member of Subhash Chandra Bose's Indian National Army, died of multi-organ failure in South Mizoram's Lunglei yesterday morning. He was 99. The freedom fighters' last rites were performed at Lunglei, 170 km from Aizawl, yesterday afternoon. It was attended by representatives from the district administration, army, paramilitary forces, non-governmental organizations and ex-servicemen. He is survived by 6 children, 19 grandchildren and 28 grandchildren. Darthawma had joined the Army Medical Corps of the British Indian Army on November 27, 1940 during the Second World War, and was captured by the Japanese Imperial Army in early 1942 during his posting at Malaysia's Penang Island. He joined the INA in 1942 May to fight against the British colonial rule. The Indian government awarded him the Tamrapatra Award in 1972 for his role in the struggle for Indian independence. Union Minister for External Affairs Jaishankar said that with the liberal visa policy of the centre, many countries will open consulates and visa processing centres in the northeast. Once remote and backward, the northeast region is witnessing many developmental activities in recent times, the minister said. In a letter to Rajya Sabha MP from Meghalaya, Wansuk Siem, the Union Minister mentioned that a request to have a visa facilitation centre in the northeast will allow consulates and visa processing centres in the region. CM earlier pointed out that people from the region have to run from pillar to post visiting high commissions, embassies and consulates to get a visa application cleared. And with that, we end the Northeast News Bulletin from All India Radio Shillong. Have a nice day.